Dear students, how are you? I hope you all are doing great today. My name is Renu Rathi and today we'll be learning our very interesting topic, that is data handling. Now in this chapter, we will learn about organization of data, pictograph and bar graph. Now let's start with the introduction. Now in this chapter, we will learn about the meaning of data, frequency distribution table, pictograph and bar graph. Now Dr. Sharma has done a survey in her school to find out the favorite game of the students. The information collected from the students of class 6th to class 12th. Now here are the games, number of students in volleyball, hockey, football, cricket, badminton and table tennis. Now from the above information, we have to visualize these answers. Number of students present on the day of survey, which has got the maximum and minimum popularity, and what is the fraction of number of students who like cricket. Now what is the first step? Now the initial step of any investigation is that we have to collect the data. It may be a collection of number, figure, facts or symbols. Now the collection of information in a numerical figure is called a data, and there are two types of data, primary data and secondary data. Now what is a primary data? That is collected directly from the source. For example, the data collected by Dr. Giri is our primary data, and what is the secondary data? That is collected from our external source, that is our secondary data, and the data collected from magazine, internet is our secondary data. Now the collection and organization of data. In order to preserve data, we need to collect data, then organize them, then record them so that whenever we want to use the information, we can refer to it. Now let's look at the organization of data. Organization of data helps in bringing about meaningful conclusions from the data. For example, some students of class 6 took part in a dancing competition. The judges gave the following grades: A, B, C, D, E, etc. Does it make any sense to you? This is data but not meaningful. Now to make this data meaningful, we have to arrange them. Now here is the name of student. Here are their grades like Pushpa A grade, Radha B grade, Tapas B grade, Ajay C, Megha C, Manoj D and Tushar A grade. Now you can understand and analyze the data. Let us take an example that the sports teacher in a class wants to know the runs scored by the players of both the teams in the previous match. For this, he called each and every player and noted down their runs as given below. So these are their runs. This way of recording data does not help to answer the following questions easily. So these are our questions. Now what we are doing? Now we have wrote the above data in ascending or descending order. So we have written this data in what? In the ascending order. Now this is a better way of collecting data, and it is time consuming, and there is always a possibility of missing some numbers. So if the information is collected for a larger persons, it may be helpful in answering the given first and third, but we might find difficulty to answer second and fourth, that is maximum runs scored and how many players scored 75 or more runs. Now when the number of observation is larger, to minimize the number of errors, to make tabulation easier, what we do? We use tally marks. Now what is tally marks? In the tally marks, we draw three columns. One is of runs, one is of, in the second column, tally marks, and in the third one is the number of players or what we have done. Now tally marks are always recorded in bunch of fires. Fifth tally marks can be represented in like this, and this is our 8. So we have drawn the tally marks of all the numbers here. Now finally, after counting the marks, the actual numbers can be represented in the third column, which represent our frequency. Now looking the table, we can answer the question number 4, and the above representation of data is called the frequency distribution table. Now here are our some important terms like what is a raw data. The original form of data is called raw data. What is an observation? Each numerical figure of in a data is observation. What is an array? When we arrange the numericals in ascending or in a descending order. Now what is a frequency? The number of times a particular observation has appeared or occurred. Now what is a range? That is the difference between the highest and the lowest value of the observation. Now tabulation of data. We have arranged the data in systematic form in the tabular form, that is called the tabulation or tabular presentation of data. Here in example number 1, we have given the height of 30 students of a class as given below. Now we have to arrange it in ascending order or in the frequency distribution table. Then what is the range of the above data we have to find out. Firstly, what we have done, we have arranged the data in the ascending order and we get it, and this is our what? Arrayed data. Now we observe that in arrayed data, 6 students have height 135, So frequency for 135 is 6. Similarly 5 have 136. So frequency for 136 centimeter is 5. And here is our frequency distribution table for all the number of students. Now the range, what will be the range? The highest value minus lowest value, that is 7 is our range. So we can also see that frequencies when added gives us the total number of observations. Now in example number 2, we have told that out of total 30 students in a class, favorite teacher of 12 students is Ranjan sir, and favorite teacher of 15 students is Sushmita madam, and favorites of 3 students is Ojas sir. We have to record the data using tally marks. So here is our number of favorite teacher, number of children and their tally marks. Now let's start with our exercise 13.1. In the first one, here are the following number of members in 20 families in a village. We have to arrange the above data in ascending order and put it in a tabular form. So how many 2 are there? What we can do, here is our number of members and there we can draw a tally for them. So for 2 there is only one tally. Now for 3 there is only 1. So for 3 again there is 1. Now for 4 there is no 4. Now next number is what? 5. For 5 how many tallies are there? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can draw 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tallies are there for 6 one. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then 6. Now for 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for 7 there are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for 8 that is 2. That's how you can solve the remaining parts. Now let's start with a pictograph. A pictograph is a way of representing numerical data by using pictures or symbols. That is, we can represent data in the form of pictures, objects or a part of objects. These graphs helps us in the suitable representation of data. For example, in a park, we have told that Raja collected information about the colors of cars and this is the information. We have to draw a pictograph. Here is our solution and each one car represent how many cars? 25 cars. Again, here is our example number 4. We have given a pictograph, shows the number of bicycles that has come to the shop to be repaired in the last week from Monday to Sunday. And one symbol represent how many? 3 bicycles. Looking at the pictograph, we have to answer the following questions. First is, on which day 12 bicycles come to the shop to be repaired? That is Tuesday. On which day no bicycle repaired? Friday. How many bicycles were brought for repaired shop on Saturday? That is 15. On which day 9 bicycles come to the shop to be repaired? That is on Thursday. Now let's start with exercise 13.2. In the first part, given below is the information of 105 TVs from a shop during first 5 days of a week. We have to draw a pictograph for the above information. So how you can draw the pictograph? That is, firstly, what you have to do, here is our pictograph symbol and we have to draw a TV. So suppose this is our one TV symbol. How many? 5 TVs. One TV symbol. So here is our what? Sunday. How many TVs were sold on Sunday? That is. And then after that we have 2 more. 20 TVs were sold on Sunday. Then on Monday how many TVs were sold? 10. That means we have to draw 2 pictures. Then on Tuesday how many pictures we will draw? Very good. That is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how you have to complete it. Now let's start with the bar graph. A bar diagram or a bar graph is a chart with rectangular bars of equal width and length with the directly proportional to the values that they represent. Now the bar can be horizontal or vertical with equal spacing between them and it is called a column graph. Now each rectangle or a bar is what? They represent one value of the numerical data. So there are as many bars as the number of values in numerical data. Now the height or length of a bar indicates what? Suitable scale of the corresponding value of numerical data. Now reading and interpreting a bar graph. To read a bar graph, we proceed as per the following steps. Step 1 is, we have to know what is the information given by it. For this, we will read the caption as written just below the horizontal and adjacent to vertical. In step 2, after knowing what does a bar graph represent, we read the scale so that we can know the precise value in given data. Now, after reading a bar graph, one must need to draw certain conclusions. That is, drawing some conclusions from given bar graph means interpretation of the bar graph. Now let's start with the construction of bar graph. In step 1, on a graph, we will draw horizontal, that is x-axis, and a vertical y-axis. Then we will mark points at equal interval along horizontal and then the number of dates whose value to be plotted. Then we will choose a suitable scale. On the scale, we determine the height of the bar of the numerical values. Now in step 4, we will mark these heights parallel to y-axis from the points taken in step 2. Now in step 5, on the horizontal line, we will draw bars of equal widths for height marked in step 4. Now let's understand the example number 5 to understand this topic better. Now the following graph shows the number of students in each class of a school, and we have to study the graph and answer the following question that follows. Now here is the graph. We have asked that how many students are there in class 1st, how many students are there in class 4th, then in class 3rd, which class has maximum number of students, and what is the difference between maximum and minimum number of students. Now number of students class 1 is 20, in 4th, then in class 3rd is 20. Class 4th has maximum number of students and class 4th has maximum number, that is 100, and class 1st has minimum number of students, that is 20. Now here is our example number 6. We have to read the following bar graph which shows the number of trousers in a ready-made shop and answer the following questions. Now first is what information is given by bar graph, that is it shows the sale of trouser in ready-made shops from Monday to Saturday. We have to mention the scale chosen on horizontal line representing number of trousers, that is the scale chosen is 1 unit is equals to 5 trousers. Now mention the number of maximum sale, that is on Friday maximum sale were number of trousers were sold. Mention the number of day of minimum sale is on Monday. How many trousers were sold on Wednesday was the same number of trousers sold on Saturday, that is on Wednesday 40 trousers were sold, and yes, on Saturday also same number of trousers were sold. Now let's look at example number 7. The number of cycles produced by a factory in a week for 5 days has given here. We have to draw the bar graph. Now firstly what we'll do, we'll look at the steps, that is in step 1 on a bar graph we'll draw a horizontal and a vertical line. Along a vertical line we'll mark the number of days pointing a equal distance. In step 3 we will choose the scale, that is 1 division is equals to 100 cycles. In step 4 the height bores as follows, that is production on Monday 7 division, production on Tuesday 8th, production on Wednesday 10th, production on Thursday 9th, production on Friday, that is 12th division. Now in step 5 what we will do, we will draw a bar graph of equal width and height as calculated in step 4 at the points marked in step 2 as shown in our bar graph. Here is our bar graph, here is our number of cycles, and here is our days. Now let's start with exercise 13.3. In the first one, we have given a bar graph which shows the amount of rice production during the years 2017 to 2021. Here we have to read the bar graph and answer the following questions. Now the first one says that in which year was the rice production maximum? Which year? Very good, that is 2021. That's how you can complete the remaining parts. Now let us summarize. Here is our collection of information in the form of numeration figures, that is called a data. Now the number of times a particular observation occur, that is called our frequency of distribution. The difference between the highest and the lowest value of the observation is called our range, and a pictograph is what? Way of representing numerical data by using pictures or symbols. Last one is bar graph is also what is called the column graph. Now let's start with the chapter and exercise. Here is our MCQ. We have to take the correct option. The first one says that the difference of maximum and minimum value in data is called range. That's how you can complete the remaining ones. Here's the assertion and reason that you have to solve it by yourself. Now I hope you have understood the chapter pretty well. You just have to practice the exercise questions and don't forget to revise this topic again.